Okay, so now let's go ahead and work on our timeline. So as you know, we have this cutscene timeline, and for this timeline, if we click on this window, then sequencing right here, you will find this timeline window. Okay, so just click on it and it will basically open up this timeline window. Okay, as you can see right here. Now we can just move this timeline window down below, okay, so that we can see our player and the timeline down below like this. Okay, now let's click on the cutscene, and then right here let's, okay, click on this cutscene, okay, which is basically a timeline, okay, which we created right here. Okay, so this is the timeline. If we click on it, then click on add animation track. Okay, and now in here we can just drag and drop our player cutscene, okay, in there, and now we are ready to start animating our player for the cutscene. But before adding animation, let's leave a space of something like 1400, okay, right here. And the reason we are leaving this area empty is because, as you know, that in our cutscene the bus will come from that point to this point. Okay, so when the bus is arriving, we don't want any animation, we just want the bus animation right here. Okay, and when the bus arrive right here, then now we can be able to add the animations. So what we can do, let's move this timeline to somewhere right here. Okay, so that we can add the animations and see everything perfectly fine. Okay, then let's click on this cutscene, and in here, as you can see, we have this breathing idle. Okay, then we have Neil picking up, then standing, arguing, talking, walking. Okay, we have these animations. Now right here we will be adding animation for our player, in which the player will be just simply in a idle mode. So we can actually use some other animations for the player if we want. Okay, for example, in here, basic locomotions, and as you can see, this is the idle animation for our player, so we can just simply drag and drop this animation. And as you can see, we can't drag and drop the animation right here. This is because we need to open this and just drag and drop the motion of the animation. Okay, so now if we drag and drop it in here, as you can see, this is the now animation, okay, for our player. So if we click on player cutscene, okay, and actually the cutscene, now if we play it, as you can see, we can't see our player right here. This is because we didn't set the player position. Now in order to set the player position, you can just simply click on this record button, and as you can see, it shows that error. So in order to fix that, we need to just right click on this and then click on add override track. Okay, and let's rename this track as player transform. Okay, and once you do that, now we can just simply click on record, and actually let me first of all select the player cutscene. Okay, and let's see, transform it is 66.90 and then 1.329, so we can just simply copy the component from there. Then let's click on cutscene, actually copy the component of the player, okay, not the cutscene. So copy the component of the player, then click on the cutscene, then let's record this. And now as you can see, we can't see our player, so now we can select our player. As you can see, he is right there. So now as you can see, the position and rotation of the player is red. It means that this is now recording the transform of the player. So what we can do, we can just simply click on paste values, and now we can just stop the recording. And now as you can see, our player is right there, as you can see. Okay, so now the player is right here on the right position. So as you know that the player will be waiting for them to just walk towards the player, so for that we will be needing to make the player idle a little bit longer. So we can just click on Control D, or you can actually duplicate them from there. Okay, and now if you play the game, you will notice that the player will play the idle animation again and again, as you can see. Okay, So in this way you can add animations. Now if we create a new animation track for our rebel 1, okay, which will be this one. Let me name it to rebel 1, then rebel 2. Then let's click on the cutscene. Let's add rebel 1 in there. Then let's click on this and create another animation track for the rebel 2. That is it. And now also we can create a override track for rebel 1 and rebel 2 as well. Let's name this as rebel 1 transform, and then rebel 2 transform. Okay, so now these two rebels will be walking towards the player. So what we can do, let's first of all select rebel 1, okay, and he will be walking towards the player. So now if you go inside cutscene gangster, and let's go ahead and take the walking animation, which is this one, okay, as you can see. So let's open this animation and drag and drop the animation right there, okay, as you can see. So now if we move it backward, now as you can see the rebel is right there, okay. So we need to set the location of the rebel as well right now. Okay, so if you click on rebel 1, we want him to be on this side. Okay, so we can just now first of all copy the component of the rebel 1, then click on cutscene. Okay, and as you can see we have created a transform from for the rebel. So now we can click on record. Okay, select rebel 1. As you can see rebel 1 transform is being recorded. So let's click on paste values, and now as you can see there is our rebel. And now if you check it out, as you can see there is the rebel. Okay, now let's copy the component of the rebel 2. Okay, the transform, then click on cutscene. Let's move this backward to 411, I mean 1411. Then let's record the transform of this rebel 2. Then click on that and click on paste component values, and also add the walking animation for the rebel 2 as well, like that. Okay, and now rebel 2 is again somewhere else, so we can just simply click on record. Okay, here it is. Now if you click on rebel 2, let's click on paste component values, and there he is. Okay, so now as you can see both of them are playing the animation. So they will walk towards the player. So let me just duplicate this animation again and again, like this. Okay, and the this one as well, let's duplicate it. And now if we play it, as you can see it will be playing the walk animation like that. Okay, now we need to change the transform of this rebels whenever they are walking. Okay, so let me just expand this, okay, so that we can see it correctly. So whenever they take their first step, okay, then let's record the rebel 1 first of all. Okay, click on rebel 1, let's move him to this side. Okay, then when he take the other step, let's move him a little bit more forward again. Then when he take the other step, move him even more forward, and when he take the another step, move him forward, like that. Then let's keep going. Okay, let's move him right there now. Then move him even more further, then even more, then let me check it out again. Okay, let's move him to that position, and let's move him right there, and then let's move him again a little bit to that position, and then right here the rebel will simply stop. So now we can stop the recording as well, and let's check it out how he will walk. So as you can see he is walking perfectly fine. Okay, so in this way you can record your own rebel or any player transform. Okay, so now we can remove this other walking animation from here because now we don't need them. Okay, now as you can see, if we play the timeline, as you can see, he is walking just perfectly fine. As you can see right here, it's the rebel speed increased, but come on, we are just testing this out. Okay, so you can just set that by your own self. I just show you how you can add the animation and make the animation move. Okay, as you can see right there. Now let's do the same for the rebel 2. Okay, for the rebel 2 it will be really simple because we can just, as you can see, this is the transform, okay, of the rebel 1, so we can just add the rebel 2 transform in the same way, okay, on the same places. So now if we click on record of the rebel 2, select rebel 2, okay, there he is. Now right here, what we will do is move him according to the rebel 1. Okay, so let me check it out. Okay, there he is. So let's move it to this point. Okay, then let's move it right here, then move him right here as well, then move him there, move him there as well, then right here, so move him right there as well, then just move him there, so move the rebel 2 right there, then in the same way. Okay, and as you know that right here the rebel 1 speed becomes a little bit too faster, so for the rebel 2 we will move him a little bit slower. Okay, so we can do some changes in here like this, and then where the rebel 2 stop, we will make the rebel 1 stop a little bit forward and this rebel 2 behind the rebel 1. Okay, so I think this will be enough for this rebel 2. Okay, now if we play it from the start, let's check it out. As you can see, they both are walking perfectly fine, as you can see. Okay, now let's remove the animations from this rebel. Okay, right here his animation finishes, so we can just click on it, and as you can see, if we click on editing, okay, right click on this animation editing and then click on split, it can be done by the S button as well. Okay, so just split this and then delete the other animations like that. That is it. Okay, now let's see it from the start again. Okay, the our player is in idle and they are walking towards the player, as you can see. Now after this, what will happen is that they will talk to each other, so we can just simply add the talking now. So let me just delete split this animation and delete it. Okay, and actually let's get back. Okay, and let's not split this animation, leave it as it is. Okay, when our player will be breathing, then this uh, gangster will be talking. Okay, so now for talking, what we will do, I will add the breathing animation first of all. Okay, so let's open this up, add this right here. Whoops, add it up here. Okay, like this. As you can see, they will be breathing. So let's split it, delete it, and let's add it for the rebel 1 as well. So drag and drop it up there, move it backwards, and then let's split it and delete it. So now as you can see, when they walk right there, they will simply start breathing. Okay, and then after the breathing, as you can see, the talking will begin. So first of all, when they approaches each other, the rebels will talk first. Okay, the rebel 1. So let's add the talking animation. As you can see, there is talking animation. So we can just open this and drag and drop the animation from there to up here. Okay, move it a little bit backward. Now as you can see, he will talk like that, like hey, what's up, or something like that. Okay, then let's cut it and remove it. Okay, and when he is talking, our player will be in the idle mode, so we can just duplicate this animation. Okay, and he will be in the idle, so make sure that you add the idle. Okay, so now you can notice it. Okay, our player is in idle, and I mean he is listening to the rebel. So guys, this video already become a little bit lengthy, so we can just stop this video right here and continue it from this point in the next video.